Welcome to Rooted with Rachel. My name is Rachel Boucher, and this is where you'll find fresh joy for your journey. If you feel like there is no point to putting in effort towards something, maybe because you are unsure of your ability or insecure of your calling, then today's message is for you. Currently, at our church, we are going through the Gospel of John. This past Sunday, we were in John 2, looking at the first of Jesus' miracles, turning water into wine. This first miracle was performed at a wedding, and if you know the story, you know how it goes. Jesus turned the water into wine. If you're new to this story, here it is in a nutshell. Jesus was invited to a wedding with his disciples, his mother, and his siblings. They run out of wine before the celebration is over, which is a huge embarrassment in that day. So Mary, Jesus' mother, comes to Jesus in full confidence and says they are out of wine. Jesus responds basically by saying, "What do you want me to do about it? My time has not yet come." Then she turns to the servants and she says to them, "Do whatever he tells you to do." You know, this is the first sentence that just jumped out at me. And as I'm reading this and hearing this message, a thought begins forming and taking shape in my mind and my heart. And then later, the pastor confirmed this message God was forming in my heart by saying almost the exact same thing I was thinking already. Two powerful sentences here in this passage shaped my understanding and encouraged my heart. The first one is, do whatever he tells you to do. This sentence speaks to simple obedience, even when it doesn't make sense or you're unsure of your ability. It's obedience in the face of uncertainty. Wherever you are right now, if you're afraid of moving forward because you're unsure of your abilities or insecure in your calling, hear this one simple command. Do whatever he tells you to do, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's scary, even if it's silly. Do whatever he tells you to do. So the next thing that happens is Jesus commands the servants to fill 6 large water jars that were used for the purification rituals with water. That's a whole different side story. Now, this is a very strange request because they were out of wine. And I'm sure the servants are wondering, how is this going to help solve that problem? But the servants do what Jesus tells them to do. Even though it doesn't make sense, they go, and it says they filled the jars to the brim. Think about this for a minute. Jesus had not touched the water. He had not spoken to the water. He had not touched the containers or lifted a finger to participate in this miracle. The only thing he has done at this point is to command the servants to obey a simple request to fill the containers with water. So they obey. Then Jesus asked them to do another very strange thing. He asked them to take some of the water to the master of the banquet. Now, we don't know at what point the water was turned into wine. We do know the servants witnessed this, but we don't know at what point they saw this happen. What if it wasn't yet? What if they were like, "You want us to do what? You want us to take a cup of water to the master of the banquet when we're out of wine and ask him to taste it?" Can you imagine how scary and silly that would have sounded to them? But they obey the command. Do whatever he tells you to do. They took the cup to the master of the banquet, and something amazing happens. Jesus turns the water into wine without touching it, without speaking to it. He simply wills it to happen. This is huge. The master took one taste and was astonished that they would save the best for last. This is the second sentence that impacted me and shaped my understanding here in John 2. You have kept the good wine until the end. You see, normally they would give the guests the cheap wine after they were a little tipsy, but the master was amazed that they kept the good wine until now. Don't miss this. Jesus does his best work with your obedience. It's not about your ability or calling or gifts. It's about his will and his glory. He saves the best for last. The servants did exactly what Jesus told them to do, and they witnessed a miracle. They obeyed, and Jesus willed it to happen. It wasn't because of their amazing abilities or giftings. It was because Jesus willed it to happen. In your moment of uncertainty, this is what Jesus is asking of you. If you are stuck right now and not moving forward in that thing you want to do, whatever it is, do whatever he tells you to do. No matter how silly it sounds, no matter how scary it is, do whatever he tells you to do with full confidence in him. And if it's his will, he will it to happen for his own glory. The result is up to him, and our job is simply to obey. It's not about our gifts. It's not about our calling. It's about his will and his glory. Because at the end of this passage, it says, in this miracle, Jesus manifested his glory and the disciples believed. That's what it's all about. He wills it to happen. He turns your water, whatever that may be right now, into wine, simply because of your act of obedience. And if it is in line with his will, he wills it to happen. And the results are to glorify him. He receives all the glory because it's not about your ability. It's not about your gifts. It's not about your calling. It's about his will and his glory. Trust him. Have full confidence in him and his ability to will it to happen without a word, just simply through your obedience and trust in him according to his will and for his glory.